Hi there, welcome. Well, as you can see, I'm busy at work back here. What this content is I want to introduce you to what I'm doing back here. A special program that I'm finally launching after 5 years of planning and having the goal and the vision. And the name of it is, my granddaughter might remember. What's the name of my program?
Rise, Reach, and Reconnect.
Thank you. She's sitting right here next to me, Grandma's little helper. Rise, Reach, Reconnect. And if you've been watching my content for a while, you'll heard me say that at the end of videos. Rise up, reach, and reconnect. And you're probably wondering what that means. Well, I'm here to tell you what that means. Back in 2019, I had this vision, this dream, this goal, this inspiration idea come to me as a program. And before that, I ran a successful business as an endurance coach, a health and fitness coach, and that's been my job for 20 plus years, motivating, encouraging, coaching people in their athletic dreams and goals. Well, about 6 years ago, I finally was able to get out. I worked so hard to become an outdoors adventure woman. I had to rise up through a lot of trauma, a lot of PTSD, a lot of fears, a lot of unknowns, because I was terrified. I was terrified to go in the woods alone. I was terrified. But I did it. I rose up. I faced those fears. I did intense EMDR therapy, and I now realize where the roots were. But when I was going out in the woods by myself, I was an avid competitive triathlete for 20 plus years, but you're surrounded by people and you're pushing yourself athletically. I grew up as an outdoors girl. I was outdoors. I was the girl that was running barefoot, climbing trees, playing in the mud. That was me. But somewhere along the line, I lost it. A lot of it has to do with childhood trauma. And I just lost it and just forgot about her. And I became a mother, and I mean, all the more reason to be an outdoors woman. But I just didn't. It wasn't our lifestyle back then. My husband was an outdoorsman, but I was just more into the athletic world, and sports and stuff. And so were my boys. We camped and stuff like that. And we went on walks, but nothing too out there. So when I started going out in the woods and really getting in connection with nature and reconnected with my inner adventurer, I really started feeling what nature had to offer. Then after the death of my son, I went out to nature, and that is where I found the most healing and the best place for me to grieve. And being out there, it just brought so much healing for me from that. And besides that, when I was going out, I just found so much peace and empowerment, confidence, courage, balance. And I just loved it. And it was a peace and a feeling I never had experienced before in my life. And so then I got to thinking how much I wanted to share this with other people, especially women that are suffering from PTSD or trauma or the fears that I faced about going out in nature. I just felt this deep, deep calling to do this. But like I said, I just put it on the shelf and forgot about it. But now it's rekindling. The fire within me is being rekindled. My husband survived his cancer. We're settled in with the granddaughter. I found a new purpose in my life. Basically, my YouTube channel gave me a new purpose after my son's death. It gave me a good focus. So thank you so much if you subscribe and watch. It means more to me than you realize. So anyway, I thought, you know what? I'm going to resurrect this retreat thing. So Rise Up is I'm going to help coach and equip others to rise up over obstacles that they have when it comes to exploring and reaching for their adventure goals and their nature inspired goals. And I'm going to help people. I want to help people reconnect with themselves in nature, reconnect with that little adventurer that maybe got hidden away and pushed away because of life circumstances. I believe that we all have her and him deep inside there still. So that's what my Rise, Reach, and Reconnect in my retreat area here is, where I plan on having clinics and workshops and retreats back here. So I want to just get it all spruced up, get it ready for my program, and I thought I'd just take this time to introduce it to you. And I do have a Facebook page. Oh my gosh, that part is so time consuming for me. And that's another thing that held me hostage or held me back from really digging in deep with this is, I'm older and my brain has taken a hit over the years. I've suffered 3 concussions. Freya, thank you. I've suffered 3 concussions. I had a serious electrical shock incident that I came pretty close to dying, but that affected my brain, and then the trauma of losing a child affected my brain, and I've also suffered a mini stroke. So my brain, I can just tell it suffered a hit, and I could let that, and I have allowed that to kind of hold me back, thinking I'm not able or adequate or sharp enough to launch a new program. But you know what? I'm going to do the best I can with the tools I have and the skills I still have. And I'm going to rise up over this limiter, if you want to call it that. It's not a limiter. I just think it's one of those things I got to work through and push over. It's like summiting a mountain or, paddling through the rapids or whatever. It's another thing that I just have to push through and rise up over and reach for my dream, reach for my passion to make this come to life. Because you know what? I'm 60 years old and I could let that be a limiter. But, I live with enough regrets. Don't we just can look back and all the, you get to be this age and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I? When I was in my 40s, why didn't I? I mean, I've accomplished a lot, but I still have regrets that I let my fear hold me back from. And I'll be darned if I'm going to let it do this now. And so I'm going to rise up and reach, and I'm going to reconnect with that inner part of me. And I'm going to see this through, whatever comes of it. I don't want to wake up when I'm 70 and say, why didn't I try? What could have happened? Who could have I reached? Who could have I helped? Why didn't I try? I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up thinking that and feeling that. So gosh darn it, I'm going to give it my best shot and see where it goes and just keep at it. So I wanted to take this time to make an introduction to you, and I'm just going to keep videoing step by step what I'm going to do and kind of show you the process and the updates and the progression as I get better. I had my first official fall hike a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to have my first official retreat event here in a week. And I thought, I'm just going to put it out there, because if I keep putting it off, because I'm afraid, I'm scared, am I ready? I'll just never do it. So I finally just set the date and the time. It's going to be here. I have a week to get this as close to looking like my retreat that I have vision as I can. The weather's perfect. That's the other thing. I could use that as an excuse. Oh my gosh, it's already the end of October. Winter's coming. I'm an outdoors woman all year. So why is that stopping me? Well, other people might not want to come out and, brave the conditions. Well, that's what being an outdoors person is all about, especially here in northern Michigan. So I could let that, oh my gosh, couldn't we all just list a whole list of excuses and reasons why we shouldn't do something because it's out of our comfort zone? It's so easy to put that list on, the why nots. Why nots? And then the whys kind of like, you know, the why nots just like overpower, you know, sometimes when we're getting out of our comfort zone. So this is what my program's about. Rising up and reaching and reconnecting. So here we are. I'm putting my vision to myself right now. So stay tuned, and I gotta get back to work. Okay, let's see. I think over here. So now what we're doing is I'm finding tent spots. I want to have places where people can pitch tents, and I would need to build a new campfire pit because I dismantled the one I had out here when I shelved the program. So now I want to strategically place some tent spots so I can develop them later. And then once I have that figured out, then I'll figure out where I'm going to build my fire pit. So that's what me and the girl are working on right now to establish tent spots. So my tent sites are kind of staked out. So now I got to decide where to put a fire pit. So I kind of perused, surveyed. Well, this rock right here, that little hump stood out of the ground. So whenever I'd mow over it, I would hit my blades on it, or I'd have to try and remember it was there. Just this little tiny piece of rock. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to see how big this rock is. Well, I'm digging, and I think it's rather quite large. So sometimes nature gives you your answer. Here's where my fire pit's going.